Cody's just a bum. Cody's this, Cody's that, Cody's this. Cody's me, bro. Let me be me.
The 100K bags challenge. Yes. So how it works, guys, is 50K goes to the coin developer, and then to do whatever with their 50K, support development, marketing the project in any way they want. And then 50K goes to the token holders through a USDC per rata airdrop to those holders. And there are some stipulations here. Eligibility. Coins must be launched on bags, obviously. Must use one app, as I mentioned. Organic growth. No bots, bundles, or wash trading. Creator wallet must be verifiable, subject to manual review. So there will be some fair play activity here, and the team will review it.
Okay.
Recap. How are we doing, bro?
Dun dun dun! Pleasure to be here, guys. Pleasure to be here. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna get straight to the point here. I got a message yesterday from someone basically saying, "Have you seen this video?" And I was like, "No." And I just, entered it, gave it a little watch, skipped through a bit. And they were like, "Yeah, they're basically saying Recap's a rook and a scam." And I was like, okay, now. Not... I was like, so let me set this straight. I was like, I need to have a chat with you guys, and we need to go through some business.
So talk to us here. We actually just ran through the chart on Recap not too long ago. So you guys have had a nice chart. It's going straight up, but very, very low volume, which is why the question got begged. Could you walk us through a little bit? What is Recap, and then build the case for us here?
Of course, I am more than happy to take you, right from the start. Bear with me. I have just woken from a nap. I've been traveling all day. All good, so if I'm a bit rusty, give me a second. Be nice to me.
Lively.
But yeah, I will tell you a bit about Recap, and then obviously feel free to ask any questions, and I can talk about the chart and the kind of the holders and why people were so diamond-handed when you were looking at it. I think at like 700, 800K. Sure. So basically, Recap is a project I've been working on for kind of about 5 months before it got tokenized. So we tokenized a month ago, but I was building it out in the public. And kind of built a community around that before we tokenized. So that is kind of one of the main reasons why you saw that chart go up, up, and up, up for the last few weeks, is that people know me, people trust me. I've been involved with, spaces for a long, long time now. And I actually started building the tool as a freebie because I was fed up of waking up to 1,000 Telegram messages and being like, what the hell has happened? So I started it as a passion project. And then it just turned into something bigger and bigger and bigger. And here we are today, obviously as a tokenized asset, which has, revenue streams and so on. So so anyone is new to the project, what is Recap? Recap is basically an always on AI that lives in your Telegram chat. It's one assistant with one interface, and that has endless utility. So it understands the project, it understands the culture and the community. It obviously explains, it supports, and it's there even when your admins are offline. So over time, Recap stopped actually feeling like that kind of traditional Telegram bot and actually starts to feel like a real living community member. Top level, what does it do? It's obviously called Recap, but it does a lot more than just recap your chats. It obviously turns those busy, chaotic conversations into clear, digestible content. It answers questions instantly using the chat history. It can translate messages into any languages in real time. Really, really important point is it drives engagement. Whether you want to roast people, do quizzes, role play, games, there are no limits to the creativity with Recap. It tracks activity, sentiment, and trending topics. So, from a mod or dev perspective, it's super useful to have there too. And also it connects communities / gives free marketing using a tool called Recap Trending, which we've introduced. And I can talk a bit about that in a moment as well. Final thing I'll say about utility wise is it is basically an always on support layer, for your developer, for your community, for your mods. If someone comes to the chat and asks, what's up? What have I missed? They can just literally direct it at Recap. It's there for you. It can battle the FUD. It can welcome newcomers. It can tag people to raid, whatever you want. Recap is the ultimate AI assistant in Telegram. And it isn't just staying in Telegram. And that's something I'll tease you on in a second. But before I get to that, it is a free tool and it has premium features. So, you might think that's kind of cool what you just spoke about, handy little bot, but why do we tokenize? Why should you invest in the project? And that is because the reach we have basically. So we've been tokenized for a month and we're already installed in over 400 Telegram communities now. And that gives us a total audience reach of about 180,000 plus. So as I was saying, it's a free to use tool with premium features. And if you want more queries, multilingual support, heaps of other kind of juicy features that we're adding, such as like custom personalities and so on. You need to hold a bag. But the most important thing is, when it comes to monetization, is
how big of a bag? How much do you have to hold?
Sorry, 100K. So at the moment,
Okay.
that is basically, top of my head, I'm going to say it's about $30. So it's not much. We kind of want to make it accessible to everyone. And, we're going to be adding premium features to that list as this goes on. But what I was saying is, the thing which makes recap so unique, and it starts off, just as that recap bot, but what we decided to kind of do with the direction is almost like turn it into its own ecosystem with recap trending and with the advertising potential around it. So as I just said, we have reached over 400 groups, and that gives us a total audience reach of 180,000 plus people. And we are monetizing this using recap boosts. So what are recap boosts? Basically, recap boosts allow your project or your community, whatever you are, to market to those 180,000 plus people for just 0.1 sol. But not only that, the approach I've taken with this is I've decentralized it basically. So not only are you getting marketing value that you see nowhere else in Web3, but when you install Recap this bot into your community, that chat then gets its own wallet, which is linked to Recap. If you have $1 that you want to contribute to that 0.1 sol from your community, you can send that, that $1 to the wallet. And when that 0.1 is hit, those ads will be launched, and you'll be, you get your ads out throughout about 180,000 plus. The reason I've done that
Very
is
smart.
Basically, I'm sure you've been in the same situation. How many projects, especially like CTOs, do you go into, and everyone's like, why is the dev paying for this, paying for that? And it's not always fair just for the dev to pay out, especially what some of these fees are to advertise or do boosts and stuff. You're talking like 5-10 sol just for a week's advertising. It's kind of ridiculous. So what I wanted to do is make that accessible to everyone. Not only that, I don't always, if I want to contribute to marketing, I don't want to send sol to a random guy that I've just met in a Telegram group and he's like, yeah, I'll pass it on to the developer when we have the sol together. So I've decentralized that process. I've given the chat its own wallet. And as I said, if you want to send $1 their way, you can send $1. But as soon as that 0.1 is hit, that ad will go out to 180,000 people, and that lasts for a week. There is no one else giving that kind of value in Web3 at the moment.
And we have like 5 minutes left here because we're gonna go to GSD because this is the segment we're on. But were you a migration to Bags, or how did the token get launched? Did you launch it, or did someone launch it for you?
Yeah, we launched it on Bags.
Okay,
so it wasn't migration; it was fresh.
It was not a migration; it was fresh launched.
Yep.
And then how much of the token is owned by you and the team versus how much is kind of owned by holders?
So what I'll quickly say is we've got 10% locked for the team. That's on linear lock, so that's slowly unlocking over. I think we put 6 months, but we'll probably just extend that. We've got 10% marketing wallet as well, which we haven't even touched yet. I've just been using my own funds. I wanted to save that when we're at a higher market cap. The rest, obviously, I own a bag. We've got a team that owns a bag, but I think we've got around 250, 60 holders maybe. And then I think we're currently on around about 500K market cap. But the reason is people know me, people know the vision. And like one thing I just want to quickly stitch onto the end of what I was saying then is 50% of all ad revenue, or from boosts, are going back to buyback and burns. So by holding Recap and pushing it out to communities, you're technically pumping your bag in the long run. Look at it this way: more groups means a larger audience. Larger audience means more revenue, and obviously more revenue means bigger buybacks and burns, and your bag should pump. The final thing I just want to quickly throw in there, because I think it's probably the most important thing for me. We're starting in the niche of crypto Telegram. It's a crypto token, obviously, but we don't need to stay in that niche. All communities in Telegram can benefit from a bot like this. So think of the ad reach when we start branching outside of Telegram. I'm already connecting with people in the NFT space, I know. So we're going to build out some partnerships there. And then the infrastructure is in place to go beyond Telegram. Why not move it over to Discord? Why not move it into Web2? There's tons of potential with this project. And I think that's why you're seeing people that are truly investing in it like a business, because it's running off a business model, not a pump and dump meme. So that's kind of recap in a nutshell. And yeah, here to answer any questions quickly.
So could you operationalize this for me? Okay, I'm in 10 chats, right? And I want to make sure I get all that information straight to me in one nice, little paragraph every morning when I wake up. We're seeing a lot of people use Clawbots, for this actually, and setting up Mac Minis to do, their daily news recap from Twitter and Telegram, etc. But operationalize this for me. Do I put the recap bot in each of these chats individually, or how does this work?
Yeah, so the community or an admin in the group needs to install or invite Recap this bot. Basically, once they've added Recap this bot and given it admin rights, you'll get a little pop-up saying, hey, here are my commands, here you deal with me. The only thing Recap does automatically is one daily recap for the group. That's the only thing it posts automatically. Other than that, 2 key things you can do with it. Hashtag recap, 3 hours, for example, and that'll give you a 3-hour recap, or hashtag recap 30 days. It's going to give you a 30-day recap. You can use it in a time frame mode, or you can interact with it like a living being. Just @recap this bot. Yo, recap, what's been going on recently? What have I missed? who's been an idiot, you know, roast so-and-so, you know, you can talk to it like a human, and it's going to use all the knowledge from the chat that it's been learning and work with that. And it's an absolute beauty of a personality that's drafted. It'll become a little legend. You want to install it in your Telegram? I did look for your Telegram. Have you guys got Telegram?
We have a private. We have a bit of a private
one, but
throw it in your private. Throw it in your private. Have a play with it, or just join our Telegram. You know, and anyone listening that is new to the project, if you want to find out more, obviously give us a follow on X. But more importantly, get in our Telegram, because you can have a play with the bot before you install it yourself. Not only to help your project, but also, you know, potentially market it to, you know, that the audience we're offering for 0.1 Sol.
Last question. We have 30 seconds. You win the 100K challenge. 50K goes to your holders. What do you do with the other 50K?
I literally said it loud and clear. When I found out we were on the competition, which I didn't know about, I was like, if we win this, I will just put the 50K back into LP, the full amount, and I'll lock it forever. Like, we didn't expect that. You know, when we found out about it, we were like, damn, we're third place. I was like, if we do that, great. And if not, we're going to be buying back LP anyway with, you know, the revenue over the coming months. So it's a win-win.
Are you in the Bags hackathon as well?
Yes, I've started building something very, very, very cool for that, which plugs into Recap. I've not announced any details about it yet, but it will utilize Recap. And yeah, I've got some very, very cool plans there too. So yeah, it's definitely not a scam. I'm definitely in it for the long run, and you know, hopefully that kind of answers your questions. But please you know, get involved with us, and I'm more than happy to come and chat another time.
That's why we do these shows, is to learn more. So
sorry about the impromptu nature of this one too. I know schedule is a bit difficult today. But real quick, when I look at this chart, do you have any, like, is there any insights on? Obviously, you have pretty low volume, so your people are holding very, very strong, but you got a pretty massive dump here. Is there any reasoning for that? Do you know if anything?
I can tell you exactly what it is, and it literally happened almost after your video went out. We basically decided, and it was a stupid idea in hindsight, we'll do a little, you know, buy competition, biggest buy, to give us that extra boost, so we can potentially move up the leaderboard on the, you know, the competition. Not only that, we thought the volume is going to unlock 10 more Sol, you know, in the dividends, so people can buy back. But what happened is some moron basically decided to sell a huge bag and buy back, so they can basically take the prize in the competition. So what you saw there was some idiot sell their bag and then basically buy it back. Obviously a few people panic sold and stuff as well, but it is what it is. Overall though, like, I'm super bullish on the chart, and I think it's just going up from here. You know, it's a long-term project for me. As I said, I want to run it like a business. So that's how I'm seeing things.
Okay, well, we hope to see some more from your Twitter account, and we'll maybe get you on for a more.
Yeah, good luck, Recap. Good luck.
Good to connect. Good to connect. I'm glad we cleared the air. It's all love. Speak to you soon.
Yeah, all love. Good luck.
Maybe we'll loop you in another time to get the full breakdown. So appreciate you.
Definitely, man. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Yep,
Cheers.
Bye. All right. That was impromptu, but it worked out to kind of fill that.
Yeah. To be fair, we look at, you know, volumes, you know, supply, all these kind of, you know, dynamics, and try and pit the projects or compare the projects against each other. So that's the thinking there. So.
Okay.
Trading is an adventure, and all adventures start with a quest. This is where your journey begins.